Jim Nolan. I I was in high school when John F. Kennedy was elected president. I was a junior in high school when he was assassinated. In 1966, I joined the Marine Corps and went to Vietnam and fought in Vietnam for approximately a year. I was wounded 3 times. I was about to be drafted.
Okay.
They held the draft was done by a lottery. They would call people up the following year. They would draft them based on the the order of the birth dates that they pulled out of the hopper that they randomly chose.
Mm-hmm.
While I was waiting for the letter telling me I was going to be drafted, I joined the Marine Corps.
Okay.
We were, as a nation, we were really afraid of communism and its spread. It was Russia, the Soviet Union at the time. So communism was spreading across the world at a very fast pace. And it was scary for the people of the United States because there was a very real threat that the Soviet Union would then attack the United States. Kennedy and Robert McNamara, the Secretary of Defense, said we have to draw a line in the sand. We have to stop communism someplace, and they chose Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. So, what were the opinions of the soldiers and the people back home of the war?
In 1966, when I joined, and Johnson first announced the escalation of the war, they did a Gallup poll, just like they do now, to take, to see what people think. And 70% of Americans thought that he made the right decision. And it wasn't until we'd been there a couple of years and started having lots of problems with the South Vietnamese government that we realized that we really weren't in a war about communism and democracy. We were in a civil war about the North Vietnamese wanting to rejoin the country of South Vietnam and making it just one country, Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want a North and a South. So it was really more of a civil war than it was anything else. But it took us a couple of years to figure that out. But at the time, it was very popular. But then it became very unpopular.
That.
It was really weird because while I was in Vietnam, that public opinion about Vietnam changed. And the student protests started. I don't know if you're familiar with all the Vietnam protests that went on, especially starting in about 1967, 1968, when we started losing a lot of troops. I came back and I was going to go to college and use the GI Bill to do that, but I had PTSD badly enough that I couldn't sit still in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be around a group of people. So I wound up dropping out of college, and I never did go to college. A lot of guys did, and were able to use the GI Bill to do that. I wound up getting into computers